Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Good evening. Please let me know if I'm audible and visible. Yeah, right. So I think we'll start. Right. Okay. So I think we are good to go. Right. So hello everyone. This will be a very short session on your exam day strategy for NEET PG. Right. So I'll not take much of your time. As I said, a brief session just to tell you the exam day strategy. Okay, so I just want to hear from all of you. Is my audio and video good? Please let me know in the chat box. Just waiting for your comments. We'll start in the next 30 seconds. Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Right. So we'll start. Okay. Look, the exam day strategy is what I'll be talking in this next 15 minutes. So listen to me carefully. This is not going to be any detailed session, a very short session, right? Now, on the day of the exam, on the day of the exam, wake up happy, not with anxiety, apprehensions. Wake up happily, right? Surround yourself with a positive aura. Okay. So just believe that today is going to be a good day. The exam difficulty level, well, it can be easy, moderate, or difficult, but you are here to give your optimal performance, and you should be thinking that today is going to be a good day for me, right? Okay. Always have this winning assumption. So, what is this winning assumption? Like when you wake up that day on NEET PG exam day, you've got to believe that irrespective of the exam difficulty level, you will be able to do your best. Okay, that's what I said. Surround yourself with a positive aura, right? Okay. Now, when you wake up on the day of the exam hall, you can probably have certain things that might have gone against you. Maybe even the night before the exam, you did not have a good sleep. So what? Sometimes the sympathetic drive will drive you during the exam. So maybe last night you tried to sleep, but you had because of which you could not sleep properly. No problem. The sympathetic drive will help you. You're not going to sleep during the exam hall. Don't worry about that. Okay, right. Another point of worry might be, sir, I'm just waking up on that day of exam hall. I'm having thoughts about my last few grand tests, which have not gone my way. The scores are dipping a bit. What if today is the best GT that you have given in your life? Eventually, the NEET PG exam might turn out to be your best exam. So that's what I said. Surround yourself with a positive aura, right? Okay. Some of you might be having feeling of guilt of not having put in your best effort. Well, who is perfect in this world? You might have made mistakes, blunders in your exam preparation strategy, but this is not a time for, a retrospective analysis into that. It's the time to think positively. Whatever effort that you have put in over the last several months, I am sure that it is good enough to get you a good seat. So be confident for that. Okay. So, what I'm trying to tell you is that when you wake up on that exam day, do have hope. Hope should drive you. Okay. So, that's it. The first thing about the exam day strategy is to wake up with a positive attitude and surrounding yourself with a positive aura. Next thing, make sure you reach the exam hall on time, anticipate traffic blocks, So please reach the exam hall on time, carry all the documents as well. Now, once you reach the exam hall, you're likely to find a crowd of students, which should not scare you. Your performance is not dependent on what they have done or what they are doing, right? All you've got to do is think about your preparation and what you can do, just that. Okay. Now, once you enter the exam hall, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath, be calm, be relaxed. And once you take a deep breath, just tell yourself, if you are a believer, God, help me give my optimal performance. Okay. No comparisons with others, no negative thoughts, just positive aura. Now, many of you, just before the exam starts, might be thinking about, is it a new pattern? What is going to come my way? Do not bother too much about exam pattern. If at all there is an unpredictability, that unpredictability applies to each and every candidate giving the exam, right? So do not worry too much regarding that. Okay, so just tell yourself, I am going to do my best, right? Now, you know that you've got 180 questions to be answered in 210 minutes. So the total marks is 720. You've got 5 sections, A to E, each section having 36 questions, and you've got 42 minutes for each section. My dear students, you've got to think of each section as a mini test. So it's like solving 5 mini tests, each one of 36 questions, right? Now, what I would suggest is when you write these exams, I'm sure that each one of you might be having your own strategy by right now, but I'm just giving you one strategy. At the same time, let me tell you, if you're already comfortable with your style of giving GTs, please stick to that. No need to change. Be comfortable with that. So, what I would suggest is, look, when you start writing the exam on the exam day, the conventional method is going for 3 passes. Okay. In the first pass, I'm just talking about each section. Okay. In the first pass, I'm just telling you 30 minutes. The 30 minutes of the 42 minutes in each section, the first 30 minutes, well, you should be able to go through the entire set once. Okay. And in that particular 30 minutes, you should be able to solve most of the direct questions. Okay. Which means, the ones that you can answer in the first hit. So that should be answered. First pass, 30 minutes, you try to solve. The second pass, I'm just telling you 5 minutes. You keep it for the second pass. Basically, these are for relatively longer STEM questions, which requires a bit of critical thinking, which you have not attempted in your first pass. Okay. But again, I'm telling you, even for longer STEM questions, always read the last line first, because many times you will be able to answer those questions in the first pass, because the last line will give you what the examiner is trying to get from you, and you can just catch hold of the buzzwords from the longer STEM questions. So always think of longer STEM questions as a longer story with more number of clues, which will help you actually in the diagnosis part. Okay, right. Now, the third pass, again, I'll keep it for another 5 minutes. This is basically for the questions that you have kept for review. You might have kept certain questions for review, and you can definitely come to those questions in the next 5 minutes. And the last 2 minutes, so I've got 42, right? So it's 35, 5. Last 2 minutes, I've just kept it as bonus time, because sometimes things may not go as planned. You might take an extra couple of minutes in either your first pass or second pass. So then you'll have to compromise the time for the third pass. Okay, right. But just one thing I want to tell you, when you deal with each section, some students have the habit of, skipping it. You skip a question only if you think that it deserves a second visit. If you have seen that question in your first pass and you feel that you are reasonably confident, please mark it. It's better, because otherwise what can happen is, if you keep on skipping, you know that there are 5 mini tests that I told you. After each section, the section disappears. It will not come again. So many students, what happens is that the first set, especially out of the 5 sections, when you go to the exam hall, the first section, you're getting used to the heat, right? Getting used to the exam pattern. And because of this, what may happen is that the first set, the time management is going to be very crucial. Now listen to me again. First set time management is going to be very crucial, because some students, in the first set may be a bit slow, and this has happened in the past as well, wherein students have missed a few questions of the first section because they were not good with the time management in the first. And sometimes, because of that pressure, it might affect your subsequent sets as well. So don't worry too much about it. I'm just telling you, right from ball one or the question number one, always have a positive attitude, and you write questions as if you're writing a grand test at your home. Don't feel any sort of an extra pressure. Okay, right. And then many students ask me, sir, should I change the answer? Because even in grand test as well, when I go for the answers, many a times when I change it, I get it wrong. See, the basic funda is usually your first instinct is most likely to be correct. So trust your instincts. Better to stick with the first instinct. But if on second read there is a buzzword that you have missed, or probably you have misinterpreted the question, that is the indication where you can change your answer. But otherwise, always better to stick to your first instinct. Okay, right. And one section, once it is gone, just reset your mind to the second section. There is a good chance that one of the sections can be extremely tough, and this means that it is tough for everyone, every single candidate giving the exam. Now, the next set might be moderately tough only. If you have to give your optimal performance for that set, your mind should be reset for that particular set. That's what I'm telling you. Always have one question at a time in your mind. Okay, suppose you're attending question number 22 and you don't know question number 22. When you go to question number 23, you should be detached from question number 22. You should be thinking about only question number 23. You might have made a mistake, or there is some topic that you wanted to learn but you did not learn, that question came. See, that can happen, right? 19 big subjects. Be kind to yourself. There will be questions like that. Okay, a bit of oohs and ahs can happen in the exam hall. You are human. So that is completely okay. So don't worry about it, because you have got 180 questions and you can very well compensate with the other questions, right? And it's very important that right from the first to the last, you please, first to the last question, have the same energy level and focus, irrespective of exam difficulty level. Remember, go to the exam hall anticipating that this might be a very tough paper. Yeah. You go to the exam hall thinking that this is going to be an extremely tough paper. What this sort of a mental rehearsal will help you is that you are already prepared. Okay, this might be tough. But then the first 10, 15 questions will give you a feel of the exam. Then, you can adjust your strategy accordingly. But if you just go to the exam hall thinking that, okay, this is going to be a relatively easy one, and then it turns out to be a tough one, you will be having difficulty in mentally adapting to that paper. But a sort of this negative mindset in the sense of the exam toughness, just that. You think that will be tough. Then it will help you adapt better because you're already mentally rehearsed to it. Right? Okay. Okay. Right. And see, one thing I want to tell you is, while you are giving the exam, don't think about outcome of the exam while you are giving. Suppose there is a very bad set two, and then you think, oh, my chances are gone. I prepared for 1 year. What if set 3, 4, I mean, the C, D, E, they are very easy or moderate? You can score decently. That's what I'm telling you, my dear student. I just want to tell you that this is just an exam. It's not a matter of life and death or something like that. NEET PG is there. Immediately after that, INICT is also there. I've seen many instances where somebody who has not cracked NEET PG goes on to top INICT. Just think about this exam as an exam. Okay? And now is a time wherein it's not about acquiring more knowledge. I always tell students, keep yourself in a good space mentally. You should be having a good mental peace. I always use this term, monk like peace. You have this monk like peace, then that means that you are comfortable. You are ready for the challenge with a calm, relaxed mind. And I end this short session by just telling you one thing: a calm, relaxed mind thinks better, recollects better, and answers better. Right? I wish all my dear students all the best for the exam. I pray to God that you are all able to give your optimal performance. Just want to tell you, keep yourself in a good state of mind mentally. Things will come out good, irrespective of exam difficulty level. Just think of one thing: you try to give your optimal best. Do not think about variables that are not under your control. At this moment, it is not under your control whether the exam has this many video based question or image based question. Can you predict? No. You might prepare for all video based question and eventually there might not be any video based question, or there might be. So just tell yourself, I'm prepared for everything. If it's tough for everyone, if it's tough for you, it's tough for everyone. Okay. God bless each one of you. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Good luck. All the best for NEET PG exam. Thank you so much.